So, over the weekend, we saw some footage come out from a Young Thug trial hearing in which we see one of his co defendants approach basically him while he's sitting at the defendant's bench and seems to give him like a handshake type of situation. And then immediately afterwards, a security, I guess it would be a bailiff for the court, comes over and takes something from Young Thug. And we later find out that apparently it was a Percocet or a pack of Percocets that was being handed off to Young Thug live in the courtroom from his from his co-defendant. So a lot of people are kind of like shocked, I guess would be the word for this, not understanding, why or how this would happen. And I'll be honest with you, I don't fully know or understand why it would happen. I mean, it's kind of silly. Like you would think why would you do that of all play? There's a video of it that came out too, so you can see. I mean, it's very, I'm not going to say it's obvious like what happened, but it's obvious that the man approached him, hand exchange, and there's like sorry, got a little crick on my neck, but there's a bailiff right in front of them watching the exchange happen, and he immediately walks to, like, it was like smooth, like it was like almost like it was all supposed to happen. It was so smooth. Like the guy comes up to, daps up Young Thug, hands him off, whatever, and then immediately by the time he's done and turns his back, the security dude's already there, like, hey, put it in my hand, like a toddler's mom or something like that. But there's a few things that I think about this. One, Young Thug could have not known what the guy was doing. That's very possible. We don't have any reason to believe or speculate that Young Thug knew or told the man to give him drugs. But so that's one aspect of it, one variable of the story. Now, the rest of it would be assuming that it was intentional. If it was intentional, why would Young Thug do this? I think there's a pretty simple explanation, and that really is desperation. This is a guy who is seeing his chances at freedom become more and more bleak as more of his co-defendants and people who he is arrested with come out and speak against him and speak in cooperation with the legal prosecutor team in order to give them information about the criminal organization that he's being accused of running. So he is looking at that window of his opportunity of freedom dwindling. We know that he was a person who enjoyed experimenting with different substances for I think that's the best way to say it. So we know, especially addictive substances like opiates, like lean and Percocet pills and all these different things, they're very addictive. So whenever you're put into a situation where you're deprived of them, of course, you become desperate for those things because not only are you missing the high, like the feeling of them, you're also chemically addicted to them and probably in pain potentially because of the withdrawals that come along with those lack of having the substance in your body. So it's totally understandable that somebody going through those kind of situations would be very desperate in order to get their hands on something. And if they don't know when the next time that they would see freedom is or when they're even going to be able to have contact with other people, they're going to take any chance that they can in order to go ahead and receive the drugs. That may have very well manifested itself in what we witnessed in the courtroom there. Now, on the other hand, it could have been something that Young Thug had no clue was going to happen. The guy just came up there trying to help him out or maybe even sabotage him, is some of the speculations that have been going around. Maybe this is a person who has been set up by the opposite side, the DA and their side. I don't know how far I would believe into that. I think it's a lot easier to believe the desperation of a drug addict, to be honest with you, sad to say. And I really believe that was a large contributing factor in why Gunna did what he did. Honestly, I think that it's very easy to stay solid to, ride the wave when everything is going well and you're all doped up on pills and you say, yeah, we'll never snitch, we'll never tell and stuff like that. And then you come back to reality. And these are people who hadn't been in reality for a while, potentially, because they have access to get whatever drugs they want to at whatever quantity. So that happened in the courtroom. It's probably not good for Young Thug's case, but because Young Thug really didn't know what was happening unless they can prove that he did, it really shouldn't affect him too negatively, as far as, many people who study these kind of things, professionals in the field, have claimed. We'll see how things develop, but I did want to speak on that just to say, that it's not it was shocking, but it's not totally out of the realm of possibility that would be something that he wanted to happen and do in the courtroom, because he may have thought that was the only way that he could have any chance to do it. And it's better to try and fail than to not try at all. Who knows? Let me know what you think.